Hey guys, how you doing? This is Emile, Vidal, Carr, and in today's video I'm going to read out some questions that people have sent me via email. Yeah, and I guess if there's anything you guys ever want to ask me, feel free to get in touch via email and I'll try and do another video on it. As you can see, I'm wearing a coat today. It's actually a coat that I've made. Hope you like it. Yeah, it's a bit chilly in the office today, so I just thought I'd just put it on quickly just to do this video. So the first question I'm going to tackle is an email that I got from one of my clients, Deborah, and she's asked what's the fastest way to make it in fashion. So to answer this question, there really isn't any way, and I think if there was ever a fast way to make it in any industry, you just wouldn't last. There's millions of talented people, but there's very few of them that actually succeed. And it's not really about the talent, it's more about the know-how of how to succeed, knowing the process. And the process comes from making a lot of mistakes. And I would say that you really do need to know the business, know how to market your product, because in my opinion, there are certain designers out there that I don't think are very good in terms of designing something brilliant, but they're very good business people, so that's how they get their products to the market. So you need to be thinking in the same way. Don't think about the speed, think about the approach, and then over time, I guess that will help the development of the brand and the awareness amongst your customers. So the next question is from one of my clients, Martin, who has asked me what's the best way to plan goals for my fashion brand. The way I personally do it is I tend to start from, I tend to think big. So I would set my 10-year goal. I'd set 3 points for what I want to achieve in 10 years for my brand. And then I would write down 3 points for what I want to achieve in 5 years, which would be my midterm goals. And then I'd write 3 points that I want to achieve within 1 year, and that would be my short-term goals. And then if I really want to get detailed, I'll obviously work backwards even more and write 3 points that I want to achieve for each month of that first year. I guess I work a bit differently, because if you ask me to set targets for now to next week, I'll probably do really good for the first 3 days, but then I'd run out of steam by day 4 and 5. So that's why I work in that way, and I think quite a few creative people work what's perceived to be backwards. But try that approach and see if it works for you. So the next question I'm going to tackle is from my client Stephen, who's asked how can I find the best strategy for my fashion brand. And I would say the best way to do it would be look at the brands that you currently shop with and list all the good things about them. Like, ask yourself, why are you loyal to that brand? And just literally piggyback off what that brand is doing, because that's ultimately all you're going to be doing from the early stages of starting up your brand, because you're not going to have the experience to really implement anything that's based on past history. And then by year 2 or 3, then you'll be able to find your own way of doing things. I guess it's kind of like being taught how to drive. You know, you get taught to drive the correct way, and then over the years, then you find your own comfortable way of driving, but that's still safe. I hope that analogy wasn't too silly, guys, but yeah, that's the best way I can probably answer that question. Now, this next question is from a new inquiry. Her name is Andrea, and she's asked me what's the best way to get my fashion brand noticed. Now, apart from sticking on a celebrity and hoping for the best, which is likely to get really fast results, another approach I'd implore you guys to think about is to identify a niche that your brand is gonna cater to, be it garments for curvy women, a new type of heel for women's wear, or some sort of ergonomically brilliant workwear feature, something that will make someone's life better or improved. Yeah, it's those kind of things that start off small, but you can write a really good story around it, and that's how your brand will grow. Because I think that when you design a brand that is for everyone, then no one's going to want it, because the tone of the brand has to speak to a particular individual. Don't be afraid of alienating anybody. Be very clear on who you're targeting your product to. Okay, now the fifth and final thing I'm going to tackle in this video is an inquiry from a lady called Liz, and she's asked, are there any things that new designers are unaware of when starting a fashion brand that they should be aware of, that's really important, or that's overlooked by many people? And the one main thing is, a lot of designers tend to overlook going into workwear. Now, I know that sounds boring, mainly because everyone wants to be the next Alexander McQueen, and that's not really realistic. Remember, I'm trying to teach you guys the business side of fashion. When you think of workwear, it's about getting corporate contracts. And if you think of brands like Averex, so Averex was it still is a brand that makes leather jackets, but the way it started out, it was making jackets for pilots. And then Helly Hansen is a brand that started off making workwear for yachtsmen. But over the years, those two brands became very fashionable. Don't ask me how, it just happened. So it is possible to transition from workwear to being a trendy brand, but many of us don't want to start out that way. If you look at Stella McCartney, she designed the uniforms for the London 2012 and 2016 Olympic Games for the British team. Vivienne Westwood did the uniforms for Virgin, and I've recently read that Oswald Boateng is going to be designing the uniforms for the British Airways cabin crew, which is fantastic. So I would say don't overlook workwear. It's a definite money spinner, and that can pay your bills while you can do the creative stuff on the side as well. Right guys, so that's it for this video. I hope you've enjoyed it. Please like, share and subscribe, and I'll see you on the next video.